Hello everyone. Last section, we have talked about the spread of costume art in Qing Dynasty. Now, let's continue to learn spread in the first half of the 20th century. Starting from the 1920s, street cutting and curved cutting have been the core distinction between traditional Chinese and Western clothing. Western women's clothing had been a curved theme until the 15th to the early 20th century. Influenced by Eastern culture, especially Chinese aesthetic culture, designers found new inspiration from the mysterious East. The straight-line tailoring of Eastern clothing coincided with the internal modernization of Western clothing. Western women's clothing began to take on a straight-line appearance, pursuing natural form through close-fitting tailoring. Since then, natural lines have become the keynote of modern women's clothing. The modern Western women's dress in the 1920s can be said to be a design period of various shapes centering on the straight cylinder style. The so-called straight barrel style refers to the straight women's dress with flat chest, lower waist, and tight hips, which is in an edge-shaped profile. The straight barrel women's dress deliberately avoids the natural fall between chest, waist, and buttocks. From this perspective, it is not completely natural. Therefore, the straight cylinder shape is the transition shape from modern women's clothing to natural body shape. Of course, both the Art Deco movement and the modernist design had a direct impact on the straight-line women's clothing at this time. The difference is that clothing aesthetic represented by China provides Western fashion with a more intuitive combination of shape, color, and decorative patterns, while Western designers have used the resources to explore more new materials, internal structures, and functions. A famous case is the birth of Channel suit. Channel suit includes top, pullover, and skirt. Its basic features are typical H shape, natural shoulders, relaxed waist, belt made of this material, narrow sleeves up to 3/4 of the length of the dress, vertical pleats on both sides of the skirt, up to the lower leg, hem treatment, simple style, but very energetic. When wearing, you can wear all kinds of clothing such as hats, scarves, gloves, bags, and all kinds of jewelry. It has become a classic example of women's modernization in 1920s. China is also famous all over the world because of this. The simple appearance of its straight suit laid the foundation for later professional women's clothing. Even today, China is still one of the basic styles of everyday women's clothing. To some extent, it can be compared with Edison, who invented the electric light. Women's clothing at this time is in line with the trend of the times due to its straightness. Are they Oriental cultural transmission in clothing culture? Or is it a coincidence? Is clothing developing towards integration by chance? Or is it a real cultural exchange of clothing? In all kinds of interesting discussions, we realized more and more that the spread of culture must not be single, but two-way, interactive, and communicative. In short, the straight-line concept of Chinese dress culture is an important feature of modern women's clothing in the 1920s, which has established the popular scene in rich and varied forms. Okay, that's all the content of this course. The content of next course will be the Chapter 6, The Road of Modern Innovation of Chinese Dress. See you next course.